It's that time of year again. If you're on Instagram scrolling, you're probably starting to see friends posting their top 9 pictures of 2018.
Yeah, it's done through a website that scans your posts and profile. But is this fun flashback safe?
Erica Alvarez with our sister station First Coast News verifies.
It's done through a website called top9.co, where you enter your Instagram handle and email address. After a few minutes, the website emails you a compilation of your 9 most liked images of the year. But who's behind it, and what do they want? First Coast News can verify. According to the top9.co privacy policy, the company is based in Uruguay, a South American country. The privacy policy clearly says the laws of Uruguay and other countries governing data collection and use may not be as comprehensive or protective as the laws of the country where you live. But the concern doesn't stop there. If you link Top9 to any of your social media accounts, the company can access your friends and contacts. The company says it's not in the business of selling your information, but in the very next paragraph, admits it shares your information with other companies. Not only that, the company reserves the right in its sole discretion to modify or revise these terms at any time. And if any of your content sparks an idea with the company for new products or modifications, Top9 shall be free to reproduce, use, disclose, and distribute to others that information without limitation or attribution, which is a fancy way of saying they can take your ideas without giving you credit or compensation.
Yes, the top 9 posts might get you a lot of likes, but we can verify it's not safe.
Yeah, First Coast News reached out to the company for comment. Top9 has not responded.